first two records in particular, Whodini and Escape, in the sense that one thing I've noticed, and I've talked to other artists about it, and since this happened with you guys, I was also interested. Granted, there was and still is, of course, a lot of racism in the United States and around the world. But one thing that I thought was interesting and I've noticed is that a lot of the early rap, including you guys, became great with mixing of cultures. Like you guys were in Europe and creating this amazing music that wouldn't have happened maybe because of they had an idea or they said, oh, try this mix or try this music or whatever. So what, and you guys, like you said, you were locked down. You weren't around all your homies trying to come in the studio session, like 30 people or whatever. So what do you think of the mixing of the cultures and the music backgrounds and all these different things helped rap or changed it in ways that it wouldn't have changed if it was just, you know, all your friends or just people you knew or whatever?
Well, I really think we changed it from out the gate because we gave you something that was R&B, it was hip hop, it was danceable, it could play in the clubs, and you also could play it on radio. And it was friendly. It wasn't offending nobody. It was just making good music and making great lyrics. And like I said, we was in a class by ourselves. That's what made us different. And we didn't follow nobody. We just went what we wanted to do and to make the best songs. And Larry Smith knew how to make Run-DMC sound like Run-DMC, and he knew how to make Whodini sound like Whodini. That's what the blessing is, and that's what you call a real producer who can separate it and don't make you sound the same. Sometimes you can see a producer like Babyface. Now, he might produce 4 or 5 different groups, but I guarantee you 3 of them groups is going to sound the same.
That
sound familiar, am I right?
That is very true. Very true.
Yeah.
But that to your point speaks to his brilliance and to be able to do it with no blueprint, because that wasn't happening at the time. So back to MCA after with Jive and everything being so successful as a person, as a creative person, as an artist. Like, what was it like now being in this big system and you're not getting the attention, you're not getting the adulation, you're not getting what was happening to you guys internally?
We felt shut out. Felt like you was just going to get shelved. We heard this happen before to other groups, but we didn't think it was going to happen to us. Once they sent us to California to do a video, I said, oh, they're going to make this happen for us. And slowly but surely, it started changing. And I said, here we go. One video and that's it. They didn't push it no more. Yeah.
And what also, obviously, Fresh Gordon did a lot of the record and Larry Smith did some. Yeah. What was the move to have Fresh Gordon do more of the record than Larry?
Well, at that time, you know, we had more access to Fresh Gordy because he's right there in Brooklyn. And Gordy had some incredible beats. He's another guy that was before his time. And I used to go to his house. So I said, yo, let's get Gordy on some tracks. And then Gordy jumped on board. And he's incredible. And I still think he is. And once he get back started again, it's gonna be a lot of hell out here, boy, because Gordy's incredible.
Yes, he is. He's done a lot of great work. He's another, like Larry Smith, that's done a lot that doesn't get a lot of attention.
You're definitely right.
So definitely shout out to Fresh Gordon for that.
Fresh Gordy Groove.
Yeah, so that was a short stay with MCA, at least record-wise, but to me it was really good that Jermaine Dupri reached out and then ended up working with you guys on the 6th record, given that you guys had, you know, given him an early shot in the game.
Sorry for cutting you off, but even right before that, you got to think about it. Chuck D came.
Yeah,
it all come down to money.
The Terminator X.
Yeah, it all come down to money. Big shout out to Chuck D, Public Enemy.
And that's I'm glad you brought that up because that's one of the great things that I know personally, but I've also seen from afar that Chuck was always often and regularly reaching out to people that came before him, that people came out around him
Mm-hmm.
or a little after him to give opportunities that maybe wouldn't happen otherwise. So how did you guys
Yes.
how did you guys notice being on that Terminator X project? How that,
Well, we give the credit to Chuck D and Terminator X. They reached out to us and got together with them to do that song, and we needed a record at that time. We felt shut out. We felt shut out the business. And once we came with it, and we got a video, and it was on Def Jam, it was a blessing. It was a hell of a blessing because I felt now we back again. And they gave us some pushing. A lot of people had love for the record, but then right after that, it was just short-lived. But we love Chuck for reaching out for us.
And I know that obviously Public Enemy, since they came out, has been touring around the world. And I also know,
Yes.
or if I remember correctly, it did seem like that gave you guys some extra good show boost again. You guys were able to get some shows, and Terminator X in the Valley of the Jeep Beats. Very
Yeah, we had got some more gigs and it started picking up again. And that was a blessing that we had a chance to eat again.
Yeah. And did that directly or indirectly, you think, get Jermaine to think about you guys again, or was that already in motion?
Yeah, he knew about the song, but you got to give him credit because X reached out to him. X spoke to him, and they had a long conversation, and next thing you know, it was like we going over to Social Death.
Okay. And obviously, you guys have known him since the '80s. Since he was
the little guy with the jerry curls, right?
Yeah, since he was a little kid. So then being around him and looking at him as this huge producer, executive, all these different things, what were you guys able to learn from him at that point?
To me, I learned that I learned that he grew up and he learned a lot, and he was working hard, and he came out with that crisscross, and that opened the door for him. So right after that, he was in the game, and to reach back for us meant a lot, because at that time nobody was going to reach out for us. No, everybody turned their backs really. But I think at one point Dr. Dre was going to try to get us. It was either Dr. Dre or it was Suge Knight that was going to try to sign us. Then you had MC Hammer wanted to do something with us too. But we had went to Jermaine.
Yeah, I remember when Hammer signed Dougie Fresh. That was a big move too. So that was
Yeah.
So what did you guys or whatever happened with the Dr. Dre Suge Knight thing? Did it ever materialize to talks or just?
Nah, it was just talk, and after Jermaine, we had X had to work with Jermaine, and that was it. He said, "Yo, we're going to Social Death."
Okay. And did that make all of you guys move to Atlanta, or had you already relocated?
Yeah, we had went to Atlanta, all of us. Yeah.
Okay. Before that?
Yeah. Before that, we was in New York.
No, I'm saying, did you move to Atlanta because you were on
Yes.
Social Death? Okay.
Yeah, once we got on Social Death, we moved to Atlanta.
Now, this was in the mid-'90s, a magical time in Atlanta. I was going down to Freakniks. My friends were at Clark. Patchwork was just coming up and everything. What do you remember about the vibe and the feel of Atlanta in that 95, 96, 97 era?
The Freaknik?
Just all
Man, it was bananas down here. Man, it was like a script fest in the street. They was dancing on top of cars, open vans, and they got thongs on and all kinds. It was just crazy. It was wild. They would stop cars on the freeway and dancing, and it was just crazy, man. They were like, every time they left, them hotels and everybody was like, we don't want them people back here. They was terrorizing.
I got a lot of great photos from those times.
Yeah, you was.
I was there. Yes, I
Yeah.
was there. But it was just amazing that you know, everybody was moving down there. You know, you guys were there. Too Short was there. Eric Sermon had moved there. MC Breed had moved there. It was just so many people. In addition to all the people that were coming out that were from there. It was just
Yeah. Too Short moved here.
yeah.
Yeah.
It was so
A
many
lot
people.
of.
So many people. So then
Mm-hmm.
I know you guys had continued doing shows and doing a lot of different things, but I also wanted to get into stuff you're working on now. I know with Abu, you got a single. This is
Yes.
Time for a New Rap Style, and you guys are still
Yes.
making moves. So how did that single come about?
Well, Abu Valor, big shout out to him. He should be watching. He gave me a call one night and he said, "Yo, Drew, I got a tune, and I want you to hear it." So he played it for me over the phone, and I said, "Yo, that's a hit. That's a hit." And he said, "All right." He said, "I'm gonna send it to you." And when he sent it to me, he had his rap on it. So I said, "Yo, I want to rap on this. I want to rap on it." So I took it in the studio and they laid down my verse and got it back to him, and we was ready to go. We was ready to roll with it.
Yeah. And given your history, your career, your legacy, how do you take all that to put into the new stuff that you're working on now? Like, what have you learned that you're able to really see and apply differently?
Like I said, we're not recording in Europe anymore, so we're going to be recording here in the States. So we just try to hope we don't get the low budget in, But we're gonna make the best of it. But my thing is, we're gonna go hard. We're gonna go all the way, and like Time for a New Rap Style. But we got so much more to come, and we just want to be different. We just want to be different, and we want to try to get the people dancing again, partying. Ain't nobody standing on a wall looking like hard rocks. We want to get them on the dance floor and make them happy again.
Yeah. Okay. And then what are some of the next things that you're working on that people should be looking out for in addition to that?
It's gonna be storytelling, but it's gonna be family friendly, and we're gonna give the people something to really relate to and really think about, especially with this hard times right now. We done lost so many people in 2020, so I feel it's time for a change. It's time to make a difference, and time to give the people, the real good music and the real good lyrics and something to relate to.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. And then how, since it is the modern era, how do you want people to get in touch with you or find you online?
Oh, you can find me at Grandmaster D on Instagram, or Drew GMD Carter. That's Facebook, and Grandmaster D on Twitter.
Perfect. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Grandmaster D, we really appreciate you coming through the Unique Access, man. Thank you. It's an honor.
All right. Yeah. And thank you for the love, and thank you for having me. And y'all go cop that song, man. Time for a New Rap Style. What up, Abu Valor? And I say, like, keep unity in the community, because without unity, we won't have a community. There you go.
Be sure to check out the History of Gangster Rap by Soren Baker. He's official.
History of Gangster Rap features exclusive interviews with Ice-T, Snoop Dogg, MC Ren, the D.O.C, and dozens of others. The History of Gangster Rap, a definitive look at how Los Angeles changed rap forever.
In Los Angeles, the streets definitely set the tone of the hip-hop music.
At 19, I got a $50,000 car.
My whole angle always was, I'll be street, but I will always tell you the horrors that go along with this life.
There will be penalties and casualties for just wearing the wrong color in somebody's neighborhood.
And once gangster rap made it from the streets to the TV, the genre exploded.
With Fab 5 on Yo MTV Raps with NWA.
Yo MTV, it just catapulted us from being local heroes to national
gangbang rappers.
The history of gangster rap discusses it all from 1980 up till today.
It's always gonna be shit happening in the street. You know what I mean? So it's always gonna be something to talk about.
The history of gangster rap in stores now.